welcome everyone to our today's class that is going to be about exploring the cyberculture. This is because nowadays we are surrounded by the technology, but not only of technology, the internet, and these other social media platforms that makes part of our life. But it's a lie if we say that this is just a part of our life because by the time it became a culture in itself. So I don't know if you have ever asked or you have ever wondered about how the internet has changed the way not only we communicate, we socialize, we work, and we learn. So, if you're interested in learning these kind of topics, today we're gonna be dive deep into this fascinating realm of the cyberculture. But this class is not only about the internet and technology, because in this class you have to explore these some exciting topics that I'm gonna show you. That while you're exploring these topics, you're gonna be enhancing your language skills in English. So if you're ready to discover, if you're ready to discuss about the world of the cyberculture, be prepared. But before we get started, first of all, we're gonna have a warm up. But I need to get clear, I need to make clear if you have ready the aims of this class. Because by the end of these lessons, you, as students, gonna be able to understand first of all the concept of the cyberculture and not only the concept, you need to take care about the impact that it have in our society. Second, you need to be able to identify and describe, of course, the uses and problems that can develop these problems that are related with the cyberculture, such as cyberbullying and digital addictions and fake news. Not only that, because in this class, you at the end of this class, you gotta be able to express your thoughts, to share your ideas with your classmates, of course, in English, but focusing in this particular concept because today we're going to be discussing the problems that surround the cyberculture. Okay, guys, so as I told you, we're going to start with our warm up. So here you have the QR code, or if you don't have something near for scan the code, I'm gonna give you the link in the chat because we're gonna move for one of the digital platforms that I like the most for use with my students because it let me to do a lot of different activities with you. In this case, we're gonna have a brainstorm around about a picture and of course a driving question that you're gonna be solving. So it's gonna move and I'm gonna explain you exactly what you have to do or what you can do with your classmates. First of all, we're gonna be dividing this team into groups. Here we're gonna have team one or team A, and we're gonna have team two or team B. So choose your classmates, choose your partners, make your own groups, and then we're gonna start. Guys, right now that we are here in this digital web page that is called Jamboard that I use with my students for do a multitude of different activities. As I told you, we are gonna make a brainstorm. So here we have our picture. This is picture number one, and the second picture is gonna have another one. But both teams are gonna have both groups are gonna have the same question. What do you think is the most significant impact of the internet on our daily lives? Or I'm gonna ask you something else. What do you think that the picture is saying to you? For example, if I focus only in the picture, I can say here we have like some squares, like this game that this reminds me the game that was called Scramble. I don't know if you have ever heard about the game before. So here we have a little change. Here we have a change. Here we have, of course, the base words that is fact, but with a little change into fake. So, what does this means for me? I can say, I can analyze that, and this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna put a post-it. Of course, you're gonna write first of all your name. So here I have This is Sebastian's post. I think that nowadays we have a lot of information, so it's hard to identify which one is real or if they are, as the term says, fakes. And you're gonna you're gonna you're gonna make click in the button that says save. And look at this. Here you have your post-it. So I want to see these slides with all of your thoughts, with all of your content that about what the picture says to you. So for me, I think that it is difficult to identify nowadays with a lot of information that we have on the social media platforms. It's difficult to distinguish if someone is real or someone is fake. So guys, you're gonna have like 5 minutes to do this, and we're gonna be sharing our thoughts, right? Guys, now that we are here in this digital, so once you have finished your activity, it's gonna share the things, the post-its that you put here on the slides. For example, this first one that is from Roxana. She says, social media can arise in problems such as cyberbullying. That's right. That's a good point. One says it's difficult to spot, for example, if something is true or it's just a lie. That's a good one. I like it. Carlos, when talking about social media, I can think in all of the time I spend of them. That's a good problem. That's a good point that happens nowadays in our teenagers because they spend a lot of time in the social media. For example, what kind of digital platforms do we have? We have Facebook, we have Instagram, we have YouTube, we have TikTok. Well, this is the most famous nowadays. I don't know why. And I don't know if there is another one. Please let me know if you know another one. And the last one that is from Marius. She said, I think social media consumes our time. That's something similar to what Carlos says before. So that's a good one. So thank you so much, guys, for this exercise. Now we're gonna continue with the next part of our class. So, guys, let's gonna continue with our topic for today. This one is about cyberculture, our digital age, our digital era. So I'm gonna give you an explanation about what does this mean. So in this section, we will be deep in the concept about cyberculture. First of all, let's gonna begin by defining what cyberculture is, because maybe you can think that you have an idea about what it could be, but I'm gonna give you a concept, right? I'm gonna give you a brief about what is this. So culture refers to the cultural, social, and behavioral aspects that are influenced by the internet and digital technologies. So it encompasses the way we communicate, socialize, work, create, interact with the digital realm. What are those key elements that help us to define the culture? It includes, of course, our social media platforms, online communities, the creation and propagation of internet memes, and shares, videos, the development of digital identities, and the virtualization of reality. So, if you notice, these elements help us because they are integrated in the way about how we navigate in our digital world. Cyberculture brings for us, I can say both. It will be positive or some challenges. On the positive side, it offers an increase of connectivity, access to a wide world of information, opportunity for learning, and other ones. However, it also possesses significant challenges and problems that we must address. For example, I don't know if it was Roxana that mentioned that the cyberculture can arise, can develop some problems like the cyberbullying. These are some issues that include the cyberculture. Of course, we have another one that could be the digital addictions, the online privacy, and the spreading of misinformation. Or, as we know nowadays, the famous fake news. Okay, so let's start with the problems in cyberculture. First of all, cyberbullying. What do you think that an example? Try to give me an example about what can be a case of cyberbullying. If you don't know, I'm gonna tell you. One example of cyberbullying can be that this is so common nowadays in our culture, sharing photos that are not appropriately for our social media platforms. For example, there is like a culture about sharing photos about the bodies of someone else. So it could be maybe someone that you don't know, that you don't even know. You don't need to know that person, but you have the photo of that person without clothes. That's something that happens. But I was wondering if the person who shared this kind of photos took into account the emotional and the psychological part that can affect that person that it appears in the photo, because guys, these are facts. The impact that these have in the victims is so big. So this will be one consequence about overusing or using in a bad way the social media platforms. The second one, for example, I don't know if it was Mario that says that when he thought about the social media, about the cyberculture, he could only think about it, about all the time that he spent on social media. This is a real example. This is something that happens because we spend a lot of time on our screens that we don't notice about how much have been running while we start watching videos until we finish. So this is one of the big problems about cyberculture. The next one, the fake news. Because I don't know if you already know how to spot this news, because you can say, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo's won the Mundial trophy, but that's not true. That was something that didn't happen. The real information, the real news is that, for example, Argentina or Messi won the trophy, the Mundial trophy. But as you know, these are examples of news that can appear in your social media, in Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, but you need to take care. You need to be able to identify, to spot which one is true, which one is real, or which one is fake, as you know. For this final part, as you know your teacher is so creative, I would like you to do something different in this class, because for this practice time we're not gonna have a PDF or we're gonna have a web page that you solve some question like a quiz. No, no, no. We're gonna be doing something different here. For you, I'm gonna propose to use this web tool that is called Canva. This is a digital platform for create presentation videos. But in this time, we're gonna use it for create a comic. We're gonna be creating a comic about what we saw here in our class. The topic, of course, is going to be about cyberculture. So you can include problems, you can include issues, something that you know about the cyberculture. It could be positive or it could be in a negative way. For example, something that you heard or something that you live, something that you say, hey teacher, you know what? The last week this happened to my friend, so can I put this in on the comic? Yes, it could be possible. This is up to you. What I'm gonna be checking, what I'm gonna be grading is your creative in the moment about how you share your ideas and the use of the correct use of English, of course, and I don't know, some misspelling errors that you can have, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna be I'm gonna give you like 8 minutes, and then we're gonna come back. Of course, we're gonna have two groups, group number one, group number two, and we're gonna have like a little battle about what could be the best comic here in class. So the first place is gonna win, of course, a 5. The second place is gonna win, what do you think, a 4.8? You're right. Okay, so let's gonna continue. I'm gonna share with you the links, and then we come back after the 8 minutes pass away. We're gonna be back discussing and showing your works. Okay, so the group number one who have already finished their comic, they share with me their final presentation, and the topic was related about how we discussed the term bullying, but I think that it was focused on the cyberculture. So here you have, guys. It was one example. I like it. It was great. So tell me, what do you think about this? The cyber culture affects the way how we spread the bullying, or how, or what kind of strategies do we use to prevent the cyberbullying on internet? Tell me your reasons. I want to hear you, of course, because you're the most participated students in the school. So guys, let me know. Okay, that's good. If you have already finished discussing your ideas, what do you think if we move on to the next one? So the group number two, I think that they were the most creative because they they talk about one topic that is important. What to do in the case if we have a, for example, we have a case of cyberbullying. What can you do? Who can you talk to prevent this? Or who can you ask for help? And of course, they give you a short idea about what can you do if you have a problem. For example, if someone steals your Facebook account or your Instagram profile. So guys, from the group number two, claps, congratulations. This was the best comic that I have ever seen. So you are the winners. Thank you so much.